Hello, my name is Chris Miller. I'm a 75-year-old retired school teacher, and in retirement, gold prospecting has become my favorite hobby. Today I'll be showing you more about sluicing and sniping on one of California's many gold-bearing rivers using this simple equipment here. We're here on the river, and this is the area where I set up and leave my backpack with supplies that I need, food and beverage and such. And now we'll see how I sluice for gold. I wear a wetsuit because this is April and the river is still quite cold. I'm using my shovel there to dig gravel at the bottom of the river, as seen here, and put it into a bucket through a classifier, which allows the smaller pieces to fall into the bucket, but stops the larger rocks and pebbles from going through. And in this river, none of those larger rocks have gold anyway, so we generally just shake the classifier to get all the small stuff in, and then we throw away the bigger rocks. Now, this process gets repeated over and over, which can get pretty tiring. I speeded it up here. Sometimes we have to move some rather large rocks. So once we have enough material, we take it over to the sluice. With scoops, I pour it into the sluice and watch the river water flow wash away the lighter material and eventually leaves the gold pieces behind, though it also makes the gold pieces flow into the trap where they get stuck and saved for retrieval later. Scoop after scoop, and eventually, as you can see there are gold pieces in this material that we've dug out. We call it the overburden because it's on top of the bedrock in the river. Some pieces get trapped in the trap at the bottom. Eventually all of them should be. You can see here the pieces of gold left behind pretty clearly. Now we're going to go out and do some sniping in the river. Having cleared the overburden from the bedrock, I can now, in my wetsuit, get my sucker tool, sucker bottle we call it sometimes, attached to me so it doesn't float away, put on my mask, and then get down into the river and look down at the river bottom that's been exposed now by removing that overburden. It takes a few minutes to get adjusted to this very cold water. The main idea is to look at the bottom and see if I can find any pieces of gold now that are still sitting on the bottom that fell out while I was moving the overburden, or maybe are located in or on the bedrock. I use that hammer sometimes to break up the bedrock to see if we can find the gold in the small crevices and such. Here I'm using the sucker bottle to suck up a piece of gold that I see on the bottom. It's hard in this phone video to see the pieces when you're there in person looking with the sunlight after you clear away the dust and such when you're spreading around what's left of the overburden. Then you can see the little pieces a little easier and have a better chance of sucking them up into your sucker bottle tool. And you could spend quite a while down at the bottom doing this. I have friends who could stay underwater there with their snorkel for about 3 hours doing this kind of thing. Bet you didn't see that small piece there. And if you're careful down at the bottom here, we're sucking up a piece. You may want to watch it again here in slow motion. The little arrow will show you where it is. There we go, sucking it up. Oh, wait a minute, it fell out. We had to suck it up again. And we do this process over and over for a while. I usually don't last more than an hour. We're spreading around the overburden again, trying to see if we can find any more pieces of gold. But after a while, I've got enough collected that I know I can get out of the water and begin the process of what we call clean out, where we look for the gold that we've gathered in that little sucker tube tool. First thing we'll have to do is get our snuffer bottle, which is going to be the final collecting place today for our gold. Then we open the sucker tube and we pour the contents into a gold pan. And we shake it around and try to make sure that the non-gold pieces separate from the gold. The gold pieces are the heaviest. And after some shaking for a while, you can begin to see the gold pieces that are in there. Then we use our snuffer bottle to suck up those pieces wherever we see them. Sometimes have to shake things again to make sure we get them all. And then we take our sluice and empty that trap at the end of the sluice, which has all the gold pieces mixed in with some of the heaviest material that didn't flow out with the river flow, and make sure we get it all. And then we again have to shake the pan so as to separate the gold pieces from the heavier black sands generally that are left there in the gold trap. This process can take a while. Many people like to get rid of all of the black sand. I don't really worry about it that much. Just shake and reshake and clean out what I can when I see what I've got. As you'll see here in a moment, we've retrieved a good number of gold pieces. Then I take that same snuffer bottle and I'll clean out those pieces. After doing this several times over and over, I'll walk out the half-mile hike back to the car at the end of the day, take those gold pieces in the snuffer bottle home, clean out the last remaining black sand, usually drying it and blowing away the black sand. And then we've got to weigh out our gold, and here we see we've gotten 1.04 grams, worth about $140. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed seeing what I do when I enjoy my new hobby of gold prospecting here in retirement.